We finally have the exact answers and information about what is going on with Sendai Colony, which I'm going to share with you in this video because there has been a lot of pointless speculation, back and forth arguing, and kind of just misinformation, as there normally is in JJK, about Sendai Colony specifically, as well as a lot of doubts because for some reason people have already made their minds up about how good or bad this episode's going to be. So during the previous episode of JJK, which was Megami vs. Reggie, we got the introduction of the Sendai Colony players and reached the point where Yuta is introduced, having cut down Driv, you know, being called second to Gojo, all that lovely glaze, which means Sendai Colony, for what we have left, is chapters 174 until chapters 180. Which is 7 chapters. That is a lot of stuff, to be fair, for one episode. That is definitely a fair bit. However, it is mostly combat-based chapters, and depending how they choose to actually direct and storyboard it, it's very possible to have a lot of the dialogue happening during the fight. So I think having the episode be 27 minutes, which is how long it is actually now confirmed to be, is very viable, I'm not gonna lie. And after having seen the incredible teaser trailer that this episode has gotten this week, I am very confident that they're going to do a good job with it. It is now confirmed, thanks to this trailer, that the episode is 27 minutes long and that it will be covering all 7 chapters from 174 to 180. And we've gotten a lot of nice little sneak peeks at the most highly anticipated moments. The animation looks ridiculous. The quality is as high, if not higher, than everything in the season so far. And there's even lots of anime-only additions and fight extensions that we can see being teased in this trailer. So the first thing I really want to do is like put your mind at ease and just say 27 minutes. I feel like we don't quite appreciate how long that actually is in terms of animation standards. 27 minutes for 7 fighting chapters is it's fine. It's completely okay, to the point where they were even able to fit in extensions, alright? Because realistically in a manga you have fighting and then you tend to stop and then you tend to have the dialogue, whereas in anime you can put one on top of the other. So even though in this trailer it shows a lot of one-to-one shots, which the one-to-one crowd will love, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's all we're gonna get, because like I said in this trailer, there is lots of those scenes. Me next. I'm getting way off topic here. The point is, there's these moments like this that are very clearly just anime only, right? But it is also very possible that the manga dialogue is happening during these anime only scenes. A lot of people were very quick to say, nope, it's impossible. It can't be done. There's no way they can fit all 7 into one episode unless it's 40 minutes long or they just do it with a cliffhanger. That's just not true, right? The evidence is now like right in front of us. They've done it. They did do it, right? It's been done. It's fine. 27 minutes for 7 combat chapters, laying the dialogue over and getting fight extensions. They have done it, as you can see from this trailer, which I'm going through in a second. So don't worry, it'll be fine. And even if you are worried, just wait for the episode, alright? But we see, yeah, the intro is normal, and then we get this like beautiful 2D environment of a Ryu's granite blast looking like it's kind of curved through the sky, sort of in a similar way to Yondu's arrow from Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's coming down here under the bridge. I don't know if it's been curved around by sky manipulation or if that's really just Ryu controlling it. I know some people have issues with it being blue. I personally think it's fine. It makes sense. It's the same thing with Akari, right? Cursed energy is blue. Yuta is the exception, because, you know, pink, but everyone else, cursed energy is just blue. I know a lot of people thought it would be like gold or this kind of yellow laser. That's mainly because of Ninjaristic Ninja's MMVs where he chose that color. Obviously not canon. I completely get it if you would have rather it be another color and not a fan of the blue. That's chill. But yeah, I think it looks great. I think it looks very much like a concentrated laser beam. I think my only problem with Granite Blast in the manga is that sometimes it kind of looks like a water pistol rather than this, you know, high density beam of cursed energy. But in the anime, yeah, they've really made it look like a laser, like a deadly laser. Anyway, after that shot, we have a nice little one-to-one panel of Ryu and Yuta about to go back-to-back on the rooftop in their hand-to-hand scene. You can see them clashing, and there's this really nice visual where their cursed energy sort of merges, and on one side you have Ryu's blue, and the other side you have Yuta's like pink and purple cursed energy, which is really cool. The roof is like bright green, because again, Sendai happens in the middle of the day, as opposed to fights in Shibuya where it's nighttime and there's this very very grim atmosphere. I really like the fact that this one is taking a different approach and it's during the daytime, because I also just love the Culling Games Barrier's like weird purple and blue kind of like aesthetic in the sky. I think it looks great. God knows why anyone decided to color this rooftop green though. That's such a minor thing. I don't even care. It's such a weird color to choose. Anyway, Ryu looks and sounds, that's very important to note. Incredible. Like, so cool. The animation is completely fluid. The art is probably the best that I've seen it so far in the season, just from this visual. There's this nice shot of like Ryu punching Yuta through a building that we see from the side. And then there's this moment of Uro and Yuta like inside a building where Uro crashes through this kind of sky manipulation, thin icebreaker wall she's created. And the art is just ridiculous of our close-up. It's actually crazy. Grabs Yuta by the throat. Me next. Yeah, I know all of us want a turn. I love how they chose to do the sky manipulation acting as clothes. I think the having it like kind of literally come off her body is really cool. And I'm glad they didn't, you know, go full censorship with it as well. I think just sky manipulation as a whole, like even when we see her grabbing the full sky here and the way it just distorts like a 3D structure with that chromatic aberration, I didn't understand how they were going to pull it off. And to be honest, I still don't, because I can't even fathom how they even began to create this. But yeah, it looks really good. Definitely not the kind of production quality you would expect if the episode was rushed like a lot of people are claiming. It looks very much like they had a lot of time to pour their heart and soul into it. And then we have Yuta versus Kurorushi, which is one of those fights that in the manga I feel like goes a little bit overlooked, because, you know, obviously the joke is Yuta can't do anything without Rika, but he fights Kurorushi without Rika and wins majority of the fight, gets tripped up in the end, and then just unleashes his trump card. So here it really kind of shows, you know, there's lots of panels in that fight where Yuta does crazy things like slashing with cursed energy and lighting up this tornado of cockroaches in cursed energy like he's Rengoku, but people kind of skip over that and forget it happens because there's no dialogue there. But here when we see it in anime form, oh, he pulls a Zoro, bro. He just swipes that sword and then that pink cursed energy in base without Rika taking out the swarm of cockroaches. It looks so good. The way the like environment kind of moves around him. Kurorushi's red, which I wasn't expecting, but I kind of like it. And the massive cloud of cockroaches seems so much more intimidating in the anime than the manga. And then we cut back to a shot of Ryu Ishiguro and Yuta in a building, which they only ever fight outside in the manga, so this is obviously anime only. Close range, Ryu firing a laser straight at Yuta. He dodges it, and then Ryu just stands there, and like, the character acting is great, but he drags the laser through the building as Yuta runs, and it creates this like insane visual where it goes right over his head. And then we cut to another one-to-one moment, which is ripped directly from the manga, of Uro just like grabbing Granite Blast and swirling it all the way around back at Ryu. So yeah, this teaser kind of is telling us, look, we have anime-only extensions, but we've also given you the one-to-one that you love. It's an extended episode with its own trailer. Obviously, they have faith in it being crazy. And it's the finale of part 1. It's clearly gonna be insane. And then we get a nice tease of, again, it's pretty much, I think it literally is just a manga panel, a colored in manga panel of Yuta putting the ring on, Rika opening her eye, and then they tease the thing. In the Aizo intro style, in their colors from the intro, we each see a moment of Ryu, Yuta, and Uro doing their domain expansion hand signs, which is obviously a build-up for when they're gonna drop the 3-way panel. This literally most likely happens right before dropping it. They better do that 3-way panel. That's one-to-one moment that I just need. I'm gonna be pissed if that's not there. But yeah, and then it cuts back to this insane, like, kind of grey, dull environment as all 3 of them stare off and about to pop their domains. The trailer then ends with Yuta charging up Love Beam in another pretty much one-to-one panel where the compositing and just the artwork is ridiculous. I love the aesthetic. It looks great. And that's the end of the trailer. So yeah, confirmed 27-minute episode, all 7 chapters with anime-only extensions. Good schedule. It looks incredible. They have a lot of faith in it, and it's going to be the end of the season. So yeah, peak fiction. I don't know. I also just love the fact that Maki and Yuta were the only 2 to get extended episodes. I think that's dope. Yeah, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on Thursday, hopefully.